Dancing with the Stars Season 28 premieres Monday, September 16th at 8 p.m. on ABC. Tom Bergeron.
Are we on? Is this thing on?
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Season 28.
Yeah, I know.
I
know.
Mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, well, given, and I know we've talked about this before, given that back in 2005, I thought, hey, if we can get through this summer, maybe it'll come back every year.
Trust me, I felt the same way about Masked Singer. And we had a similar thing with our agents calling us, but my agent was like, "You're not doing it." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing it."
Oh, yeah. I was at Cheryl Burke's wedding with Izzy Pick.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The executive producer of Masked Singer, and she also came from Dancing with the Stars and Strictly Come Dancing in England. And we were talking about future seasons of Masked Singer and how it gets increasingly difficult the more popular you get for a show like that, where the conceit is anonymity.
Totally.
To keep it, because it's not a live show, it's taped, so it's harder to, you got a lot of NDAs with the audience, I think.
Oh my God, I'm watching them. They're signing multiple.
Yeah, exactly.
In the audience. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. But Dancing with the Stars, Season 28.
Oh, that's right. That's the show we're talking about.
That's what show we're plugging about.
Sorry.
You made the announcement. I brought it right back. They just announced the stars this year.
Yes.
Karamo Brown. I mean, do you know a lot of these people? Do they recognize? Are they recognizable to you?
Yeah, this season, yeah. There have been some where, to be honest, and some of that might be a factor of just what my interests are, but where Google has come into play more than others. But I would imagine they had a year to book this one, so.
Yeah, you can tell that there's some good people. Hannah Brown from The Bachelorette, I had her in studio. I think like about a month ago, and I said, "Would you be into doing Dancing with the Stars?" And she's like, "I would totally be interested in it." I should have known she signed her deal.
Yeah, probably already. Yeah.
Lauren, Elena, Christy Brinkley. I mean, I can't believe she hasn't been on the show yet.
I know, and she's done Broadway and Chicago and all that. So anyway, I had never met her, so it was a real treat to meet her this morning.
Right, she's so beautiful,
gorgeous, absolutely, very sweet too. Just a really nice person.
So sweet, like you, very sweet.
Thank you.
James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Good choice for the ladies
very good,
of my generation. Ray Lewis, who I'm sure you're well aware of.
Yep. NFL
Kate Flannery,
All-Star.
She's Meredith on The Office.
She is a character.
Right? I wonder if they'll bring, do the comedians bring comedy?
Yeah, I think they bring more of a sense of joie de vivre to it. You know, they don't take it as seriously. David Alan Grier did, though. He got really not funny. He was too serious. He was too intense about that goes back a few years, but I just remember him being very, very intent on winning.
I was going to say it's the competition part.
Yeah,
you can tell the people are very competitive with other people, where a lot of people are just competitive with themselves.
Sure.
They just want to be able to finish the dance.
Right. That's more how I am. I've always been very competitive with what I regard as my capabilities, but I'm not too externally competitive.
Lamar Odom should be interesting. Did you meet him?
Yes.
How was he? Because we had him on the show. He was nice, but he was a little stoic.
He kind of loosened up a bit. I mean, I've known him for all of 3.5 minutes, but he seemed pretty relaxed.
So you haven't seen any of them dance yet, correct?
No.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one. I mean, I would imagine they have to find the tallest dancer to dance with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'll be just like staring at his belly button, and that would be kind of odd.
Yes, it would.
Or entertaining, actually.
Yes.
One of the two. Sean Spicer, another comedian. White House press secretary. I mean, I can't wait to see Spicy do the tango. You have no comment on that one.
Yeah.
You really don't.
I don't.
Okay, Mary Wilson.
I'll tell you what. I'll rather than be coy. I had hoped that when we came back, there wouldn't be any political lightning rods of any party affiliation. Now, I'm a registered Democrat, but I didn't even want to see a Democrat in there, because I think the show at its best is an oasis from everything else.
Yes.
So that was one that I had issue with.
I can 100% see that because it is an oasis.
Yeah.
I guess the producer's thinking is, well, this is a way for people to see the other side of a person.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I'm trying to find the silver lining, Tom. I'm trying.
Here's the thing. My job as host, and that's true for any season, is to be, to the best of my ability, Switzerland.
Yeah.
And, so that's what I'll endeavor to do.
And you do.
Yeah.
And you do. I mean, with all those, we've had the same issues with our costumes and our wardrobes, and I'm sure you've seen your share of wardrobe malfunctions.
Yes.
Have you ever had one?
No, but what do I wear? I wear a different dark suit every week. It's, whoop-de-doo.
Could be a zipper down moment, though,
That's
Tom.
like when Aaron, during the dress rehearsal, Aaron will come out and, say, all right, we got a couple choices here for what I might wear. And my running line is, I'm going with the dark suit this week and tie.
Yeah, right? You must see guys get away with it so easy. You're so lucky. What are you doing while everyone's dancing? Where does Tom Bergeron
I'm drinking
go?
mostly. I got Bruno and I have a little wet bar. No, I'm watching just like you. I'm pretty much always right by the judges' table, and I'm watching the dance as well.
And do you, in your head, are you judging them on your own?
Yeah. Over the years, I think I've gotten a better sense of what they might be looking for and what they might regard as a dodge or an effective use of technique. I'm nowhere near, obviously, their level of expertise, but I think I've assimilated over 13 years some sense of what might work and what might not.
Do you think the judges are ever too hard on people?
Yeah, I do. And on those occasions, I try to act as almost their shield, if I think the judges are going too far or being too mean.
Once again, you're sliding some Switzerland in there. You're trying
to
peace.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Is there anyone that, I was trying to think of the memories of Dancing with the Stars that were so memorable. Remember the one that fainted? Was it Marie Osmond?
Yeah, Marie Osmond, yeah.
What are other ones that kind of can stick out in your memory?
And it's usually an aberration like that sticks out. If somebody faints or people rush the stage when Ryan Lochte was a celebrity on the show, and there were protesters from his, Olympic stint. So those are the ones that tend to stand out. And the fact that Dave, our security guy, before I even realized what was happening, had one of those protesters sucking floor. I mean, it was just amazing how quick he went down. Boom! Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you wouldn't want back?
Among the people we've had on?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I was talking to somebody about, we did an all-star season, and that consisted of people who had been champions, people who had been runners-up, viewer favorites. It seemed like a really good idea. And then they all got together, and as the executive producer at the time said, 13 people come in as champs, 12 leave as losers. And it changed the dynamic. People who had had a ball in their individual season, suddenly they're surrounded by other mirror ball winners or runners-up.
You're right.
And they all got so serious that it wasn't that much fun. So the only thing, it's not an individual that I would not want to revisit so much as a theme. I wouldn't want to do another all-star season.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
They all got very competitive.
They did. It was interesting.
Whose egos do you think are bigger, the dancers or the judges?
It changes on any given day, I think. It depends on in any business, on any given day, if people feel like they're being listened to or ignored or exalted or, dismissed, egos come into play.
But that's where your meditation has done you well, Tom Bergeron.
Yes, indeed.
We've talked about that before, and I always remember that. Even before I've ever interviewed you, I think my sister had told me that you meditate before each show.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, between the dress rehearsal and the live show, I usually meditate.
We talk about on the show all the time triggers and dealing and meditation.
Yeah.
What do you do? What is your coping mechanism for when you get triggered? Where do you go? How do you prevent it from being an outburst or anything like that?
The meditation helps a lot because doing that, you build that mental muscle over time, and hopefully, because I still have a temper. I mean, it's not like that eradicated the temper. It just keeps it sort of at bay and makes me better able to assess what I need to focus on and what I can let roll off my back. And so that's the key. So, if somebody cuts you off in traffic or something like that, the meditation makes you, okay, now I don't have to lose my S about this,
It allows enough space for you to make a choice.
Yeah, exactly. Just that extra
reaction.
breath. That extra breath can make a big difference.
I was, looking in your, not your files, but your background for some more information. And you're such every interview, you're such a good person. And there's no surprise that you are where you are today and have done so well. And then I was hearing a story an interview that you did about early in your career where you called information to try to get the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story to my listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. As a matter of fact, there's a 90-minute special here on SiriusXM that I did with Howard Stern called The Three Stooges Lost and Found, which the centerpiece of that are tapes of my interviews when I was 16 and 17 years old with Moe and Larry. And I was promoting the book that you so graciously did a blurb for about 10 years ago, and I was promoting it with Howard as well. And he's such a Stooges fan that he said, you got to find those tapes. And I didn't know where they were. They were quarter-inch tapes I made years ago. But I found about a half hour with Moe and about 20 minutes with Larry. And so we digitized those and it turned it into a 90-minute special.
And you were 16 years old.
Yeah, I was at home. My folks were out. My sister was at a sleepover. Saturday night, so I had no social life. And I knew Moe and Larry was still alive, so I called information in California and got the number for a Larry Fine. Turned out not to be the Stooges' Larry Fine, but those people knew where he was, which is the Motion Picture Television Fund in a facility in Woodland Hills that I do a lot of fundraising for now. And Larry got on the phone, and about 5 or 10 minutes into our conversation, he said, you want Moe's number?
Oh, my God.
And he gave me Moe's home phone number, and I called Moe's house. And Moe, after initially being a little concerned where I got the number, we subsequently, over 18 months, had about a half a dozen conversations.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice.
But, the drive and the courage it took, are you, in hindsight, going look at me and my 16-year-old
Well,
self
it's
doing that?
Yeah, Jenny, it's interesting because when I found the tapes and we were digitizing them to do the special, some of the questions I heard 16-year-old Tom ask, like I asked Moe, would you say what you do is slapstick or farce? And Moe said, you're right, what we do is farce. I don't know where the hell I thought of that one.
Oh, my God.
What I might have read that led me to ask him that question. But he seized on that question. And I think in some ways that's cemented to him that, okay, he's a real fan. He knows what he's talking about. I'll give him some time. And
He's legit.
They were both so gracious with their time.
I'm sure it helped. Did you tell them you were 16 years old? Because
I think my voice was cracking periodically. It was kind of a giveaway.
Who's been your most favorite interview that you've ever interviewed?
Carl Reiner.
Wow.
Carl Reiner, back when I was doing the TV show in Boston, where I first met Donnie, as a matter of fact, and the whole team. Carl Reiner I met there, and we've been friends ever since. 25.
Really, like buddies?
Yeah. When he was, he's 97 now, so he's he has some health issues, but he's still as sharp as a tack. But
right,
we
you're
used
not
to
going
go
bowling with him, but you're friends with him.
Right, but we used to go out to lunch a lot, and I got to host a follow-up to an HBO special called "If You're Not in the Obit, Have Breakfast," which is a line of Carl's, and I got to interview on stage Carl, Dick Van Dyke, Mel Brooks, and Norman Lear.
Wow.
And that was, if you go on my either my Twitter page or my Facebook page, that's the profile picture, or that's the banner shot me with those guys. Yeah, it was just.
Do you have that interview still? Is it up anywhere?
I think it's online. If you just type in, if you YouTube check, because that's the name of the special. If you're not in the obit, have breakfast, and I know that interview is part of the whole special.
Lucky you. Now I want to look up Howard Stern and hear those interviews too.
Yeah, that's on my website at tombergeron.com. Yeah, I posted the whole Stooges special on that.
Oh my God, I can't wait to listen to that. Tom Bergeron, I love having you on my show.
I love being had.
You're awesome. Dancing with the Stars, you're funny. Season 28 premieres Monday, September 16th at 8 p.m. on ABC. Come back anytime, and good luck to you this season.
Thanks, Jen.
No wardrobe malfunctions.
Well, my zipper's down.
I'll be right back.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!